Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing yet another Moonlight fan art and talking about using references. So this is technically my first painting using my new display tablet, which is something I've wanted to use ever since I've known about digital art. Painting on it felt so natural and smooth, but that's the topic for another video since I will be making sort of a review for it. Now that it's been a couple of weeks since I've made this, I'm not entirely in love with how this one turned out, but I do remember being really proud of it. I was considering painting over it to fix some issues with the proportions, like those eyes, but I don't think it would have made that big of a difference. This painting just gave me another reason to use references more often. Had I not used one, I would never have selected the colors that I did over here. I probably would have gone with the darker and more saturated shade for the shadows, but I love how the colors look here. While choosing references, my main focus is on three things: contrast, color, and the gesture. It's always one or more of these three things that draw me to a reference. Nowadays, it isn't very often that I find myself working without a reference, and I think that has helped me quite a bit to understand proportions and draw faces that don't all look the same. I would always recommend using reference images with high contrast and some kind of shadows in order to understand the structure of the face or whatever it is that you're drawing a bit better. Capturing likenesses is usually a hit or miss for me. It either looks exactly the way I need it to, or it's basically impossible for me to make something look like a real person. This one was somewhere in between, but then again, capturing likeness wasn't exactly my goal with this one. Yet another reason to use references is that you don't even need to think much about what you're going to draw. Picking random things to draw from Pinterest is the only way that I'm able to come out of the deep dark abyss that is also called art block. This is when I don't pay much attention to what I'm drawing and just doodle away. Speaking of Pinterest, it's an artist's best friend. It's my main source of inspiration and it literally has no end. I have an inspiration board with over 500 pins, so that should give you an idea of how religiously I use the app. As irresistible as they are to draw, I try my best to stay away from those soft Pinterest aesthetic type references with absolutely beautiful people. They usually have very even lighting and barely any clear shadows, and that makes it hard to understand their facial structure. In my sketchbook, I also sometimes use other artists' work as a reference, which doesn't really need to be seen by anyone. Say, if I really like how someone sketches hair, I like to reference their work to learn from it. My point being, reference pictures don't always have to be real life images, and they can also be someone else's work as long as they're used in a fair way. Although I don't do it very often, I use references from different animated movies and their concept art, and there's quite a lot to learn from there, ranging from color to composition. I studied background designs from Tangle the series when I was trying out layout design, and that really helped me a lot. I think that's all I have to say for this video. This is the most I've ever spoken in one. I'd love to see how you reuse references and if you have any thoughts about using them. Let me know down below. I really hope you enjoyed the video, which if you did, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Be sure to stay till the end for the final piece, which will also be up on my Instagram. I'll see you in the next video.